Here's a clip from my interview with two tennis historians.
If Djokovic were to have grown up playing with a wooden racket, and he was still playing with a wooden racket today, do you think he would have gotten to the top 500 in the world? With one that was made in the 70s, not with like a modern, like I'm sure they can make like a technologically
playing against
pretty
other
good
players
one.
that are using the equipment.
Yeah, players using modern rackets now.
If he had played with that his whole career?
Since he was little, he played with it like
Yes.
you. Like you grew up playing with this. If you had kept playing with that...
I think
Yes.
I think he would be.
I think he would be.
You think
Because
he would?
there were players, there were a lot of players, in fact every player went through a time where it changed. We used to be called regular size rackets to bigger racket. And there were players like Kevin Curran that never switched to a bigger racket that still were in the top 5 or 10 in the world. So he was nowhere near as good a player as Djokovic.
I think the thing about the question to consider would be, it'd be a more interesting thing to ask, like, what would his career high ranking be, since we both say yes? Let me add on that Nadal, if he was using a wooden racket, I think he would have way more trouble than Djokovic, who hits way flatter than like Nadal does. And
That's
also
an interesting
Nadal's serve, which is fairly weak for like an all-time great player anyway, would be, in my opinion, significantly weaker with the, or at least weaker with the wooden racket.
And I know your opinion on this, and it's to do with the serve. You think that people could serve just as fast with the wooden racket?
Well, we just saw a video just tonight, somebody talking about Bill Tilden in 1920 when he was very young, timed 150 mile per hour serving. Later on, he was timed 163 something mile per hour in like the 1920s or 30s.
But not with 2026 technology. But
Well, what I said, what I
that's
said,
not his fault.
but no, if you
It's
put,
not his fault.
If you put Andy Roddick into the technology of the 1920s, how fast would his serve? No, I mean, serves were just about as fast or as fast before modern racket, but it was much harder to return them because the bigger head of the racket now makes it easier to return, and also the more consistent bounces and things make it easier. So I think the returner has gained a big advantage compared to the way it used to be.
And it would be an interesting experiment to see like Isner or Impechi Pericard hit a serve with the one racket and just see how fast they could serve if they go as hard as possible. Can I get your answer?